And we are live and we are back for week 3 of this season's English Premier League, where we have some very, very good fixture to preview. And we have some, mild ones. But really, the big game this week, Manchester United versus Liverpool. Oh, man, that's a huge one. Leeds United versus Chelsea. Newcastle coming up against the reigning champions, Manchester City, newly promoted, Bournemouth against Arsenal. So we have some very, very good fixtures, man. And what I'm going to do in today's live stream, as you should know, I'll be previewing the games, letting you guys know some transfer updates and, all that good stuff, and let you know my prediction on every game. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to take a look at what happened in the previous week, and we're going to get straight into things. You know what I'm saying? No delay. We time is of the essence. All right, let's just put it that way. So Liverpool and Crystal Palace played to a 1-1 draw, where the Reds are still winless this season. For Forest, they picked up their first win on their return to the Premier League against West Ham, a 0-0. Chelsea and Spurs drew controversially 2-2, whereas Aston Villa defeated Everton. Everton, their second loss in a row, and big win for Stevie G and his boys. For Arsenal, Mikel Arteta, man, these guys have been on fire. Apart from City, they're the next best thing in the league right now. So far this season, I should say. 4-2 over Leicester City. Brighton and Newcastle played to a stalemate, 0-0. A good result for both teams, in my opinion, while Man City brushed past Bournemouth yet again, and this has been happening every single time the two teams meet each other. Southampton came from behind brilliantly to pick up a 2-2 draw against Leeds United, while Wolves and Fulham played to a 0-0 draw. Brentford, of course, we know, smashed Manchester United 4-0, and that was indeed one of the highlight results of the week. So, guys, without further ado, let's get into the fixtures, where what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you guys know the last meeting between each and every team, the transfer updates, whatever I could have got my hands on. I'm going to let you know player availability up until the time when I did the research, which is, of course, subject to change. Players to watch, my prediction in the next game. So let's get into this, man. Feel free to share your prediction in the comments or in the chat. Guys, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button for the video. And if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe. We'll be doing this all season long. So, guys, the first game that we are going to start with is the match between Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. So let's just click on that game and we're going to get into that one right about now. This is one of the trickier fixtures, I have to say, because, both teams, I think, are very, very difficult to predict. In the last game, Crystal Palace picked up a 1-1 draw on the road to Liverpool, while Aston Villa picked up their first win of the season in a 2-1 victory over Everton. In terms of their last meeting, home team Crystal Palace played to a 1-1 draw in their last match against Villa on the road, and they lost the home leg last season, so they failed to defeat Aston Villa last season. While in their last 10 games in the Premier League, they have picked up 3 wins against the Villains, but they do have 5 losses and 2 draws. So that would be at the back of Patrick Vieira's mind. That Aston Villa are a team that definitely do a positive result against. In terms of the two managers here, Patrick Vieira versus Steven Gerrard, they did meet twice last season, where Gerrard picked up a win and a draw, and that's the same result for him against Crystal Palace, and vice versa, Patrick Vieira against both Gerrard and Aston Villa. So in terms of all-time results, 20 matches played between the two teams, 7 wins for Villa, 7 wins for Palace, and 6 games have ended in a draw. So this could be a perfect time for a tie breaker. So in terms of the transfer updates, guys, and how each teams are gonna look to bolster their squads. So for Crystal Palace, they're working on bringing in Ishmael Assar from Watford. I think that would be a great transfer if they manage to pull it off. A lot of firepower down the wings. And in terms of outgoing, Checo Kuyate joined Nottingham Forest on a free. In terms of Aston Villa, they're considering Rob Holding as a potential replacement for Diego Carlos. I remember in the last live stream we did talk about this, and Aston Villa bringing in like a bit part type defender to just fill the stopgap option. And if that does happen, it means that Aston Villa will be taking both Rob Holding and Colum Chambers off of Arsenal's hands. And these are two players that was probably pretty difficult to get rid of, if you ask me. So, let's see if that one actually goes through. So that's it in terms of the transfer, potential transfer business that could happen for these teams. I will update you whenever I do the review, if I have anything else to add there. So in terms of player availability, the Crystal Palace, Nathan Ferguson, he will be out injured along with Jack Butland and James McCarter along with James Tompkins. As for Aston Villa, Courtney House, Diego Carlos, those two players are out for sure. And that's some defensive problems that Aston Villa has right there. Those are both two center backs. So Philip Coutinho and Matty Cash are also doubtful for this game. So in terms of players to watch for this, for Crystal Palace, I gotta stop the preview. This a big up to Chelsea Perspective in the house. Thank you very much for tuning in. Marcel, you never walk alone as well. And my boy MW Choli, you guys are the real deal. Thank you very much, man. I just had to acknowledge you there before you disappear. But look, in terms of players to watch, Crystal Palace, man. One player I want you guys to keep your eyes on in this game is, of course, Eberiche Eze. And I think he is the guy, one of the guys that was actually responsible for picking up that point against Liverpool. The man was a maestro in the midfield, man. What he did to Fabinho, I would never, ever forget that. I know Liverpool fans would want to forget it conveniently, but Eberiche Eze, man, oh my God. Woo! I'm telling you, the spin he give, and he sent Fabinho to the store to buy a pack of smokes and back, and pass the ball to Zaha, and the rest is history, man. Crystal Palace picking up a point because of former QPR midfielder Eberiche Eze. As for Aston Villa, player to watch for me, player to watch definitely midfielder Emiliano Buendia. I think when he came on in the last game there against Everton, he did score and he did change the game. He added a lot of impetus to their midfield, and with Philip Coutinho being a doubt, I think Emiliano Buendia could step right in to show us what he's capable of doing, because I don't think he's yet to really fulfill his potential during his Premier League career. And I think this is what his third season, once with Norwich, if I'm not mistaken, and this is the second season with Aston Villa. So it's about time, man. You know what I'm saying? Still young, 25 years old, but I think we haven't seen the best of Emiliano Buendia. So look, with all that being said, guys, in terms of my prediction for this one, I actually think both teams are going to scrap it out to a 0-0 draw. I was leaning towards a 1-1 draw, but I have to throw in a 0-0 result in there because, we tend to have a few of those every single week. And I didn't want to go another week without predicting a 0-0 draw. So I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw, though. I think both teams are going to cancel each other out. And the team I think most likely to pick up a victory in this game might be Crystal Palace, with the fact that Aston Villa's defense might be looking a bit shaky with the likes of Tyrone Mings, Colum Chambers, and Ezri Konza, being the only fit centre backs there for Aston Villa. And both teams do play an expansive style of football whenever they can, but I think Crystal Palace are more capable of, being pragmatic, like going into their shells just like they did against Liverpool. And with the likes of Joachim Anderson and Mark Guehi back there, man. That's going to be a very difficult defense to penetrate. So, look, I'm going for both teams to cancel each other out, nil-nil draw. And I don't need to explain anything else. Guys, let me know your prediction there in the chat. Do appreciate everybody in here right about now. Premier League games are extremely difficult to predict. So you go ahead and predict at your own peril. But I'm going for a nil-nil draw. So in terms of Crystal Palace, who are 16th in the table only after 2 games, their next match will be an EFL Cup second round fixture against Oxford United. That would be on the road. As for Aston Villa, who are ninth in the table with 3 points, their next game will be a second round EFL Cup game against Bolton Wanderers. So good luck to both teams in the EFL Cup, where Liverpool are the defending champions, and they will be hoping to at least nab a Carabao Cup title this season. Right, Liverpool fans? What do you say about that? So once again, big up to everybody in the chat, man. What are you guys saying in terms of comments? Marcel say Eze was torching us. Indeed, indeed, indeed. So big up MW Choli saying he might actually fall asleep. I know it's late. You're in Denmark right now. I know it's late. The awesome BLE, big up to you, man. Big Inter Milan fan. All the best this season. Let me see. Marcel is saying, I hope Villa win so people can shut up about my guy, Steven G. Big up to Lucky. 1-0 to Villa. Cuthbert McVeigh coming in the house. Hey, where are you from again? St. Lucia? He's saying a 1-1 draw. Well, Alexander Hilton is saying 2-0 to Crystal Palace. So with that being said, guys, we are going to keep it moving. No delays, man. We got a lot to go through, a lot of information, guys. I spent a long time putting this together, so I want to get it out for you. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it out there. So the next game will be the London derby between Fulham and Brentford. Not the biggest London derbies, and I think it is one of the more low-key London derbies with your likes of, you're going to have Fulham, Crystal Palace, Brentford, Crystal Palace, and so on and so forth. But this one is an important one nevertheless. This is indeed what it seems like the first ever Premier League meeting between the two sides, because remember, Brentford was first promoted last season and Fulham was in the championship at that time. So it's indeed the first time they're meeting in the Premier League, but they have met many times in the championship. So for Fulham, the last game was a 0-0 draw against Wolves, and for Brentford, a smashing 4-0 victory against Manchester United. In terms of their last meeting, they met in the fourth round of the Carabao Cup back in 2020, where Brentford defeated Fulham 3-0. And the last championship game was actually the championship playoff final back in 2020, where Fulham went on to defeat Brentford 2-1 after extra time. So I'm telling you, man, look. Brentford, I don't think that fourth round Carabao Cup game was actually revenge. I think this Premier League game is now the game to get their revenge out on Fulham. But, in terms of the previous matches where they had met each other in the championship that season, Fulham actually lost both games to Brentford. So it was kind of maybe surprising to their fans that they lost that championship playoff final there. And I could remember because I watched that playoff final. I think that was Joe Bryan scoring that goal, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just check back that game really quick. Joe Bryan in the 117th minute and the 105th minute as well. So yeah, man. So some survivors. There's a lot of survivors actually from that meeting. A lot of survivors. I'm not going to get into all of them right now, but guys like Josh De Silva, Norgard, Jensen, Embuemo, and guys like Pontus Janssen, Rico Henry, David Raya, these guys were all involved back in 2020, while for Fulham, you have the likes of Kibano, Bobby Reed, Harrison Reed, Tim Ream, Joe Bryan himself, Rodakin was actually in goal there, so this will be a big game. I'm hyping the game up. Maybe I'm hyping the game up more than it should be hyped up, but it's indeed a big game, man. So look, in terms of the two managers, guys, Coach Marco Silva of Fulham will be meeting Thomas Frank for the very first time, while This will be also the first time Marco Silva is managing against Brentford. For Thomas Frank, this is his fifth game against Fulham. He has enjoyed a lot of success with 3 wins and a solitary loss, that aforementioned championship playoff final. So all-time results, 24 games, 6 wins for Fulham, 12 wins for Brentford, and 6 draws. So that's an update on both teams in terms of the head-to-head and all that good stuff. So in terms of the squads now and transfer updates, whatever I could have found for you guys. For Fulham, they're closing in on Justin Kluivert for around £10 million from Roma, and they've been linked with Bamba Dieng, Huang Weizhou, and Nicholas Jackson, young Spaniard. I think he plays for Villarreal, if I'm not mistaken, or Valencia, one of them teams. But Huang Weizhou, I think Nottingham Forest might be actually closing in on that deal, though. So, but Fulham was actually linked to him. In terms of Brentford, I didn't find any links to any player this week. And the last player they signed was actually Mikkel Damsgaard from the Serie A. So let's keep an eye on if Brentford are going to do any other business in the transfer window. Remember, they brought in Thomas Strakosha, as you guys can see right there. Aaron Hickey is a new player as well. Ben Mee from Burnley, big Burnley captain there. And there's a few players they are all also brought in, and along with Mikkel Damsgaard. So not a whole lot. A few players coming back from loan as well. Halil Dervisoglu comes to mind. Let's see if he's going to be used this season. So in terms of player availability and injuries here for Fulham, former Liverpool man Harry Wilson would remain out, along with Manor Salomon, the Shakhtar Donetsk Israeli international, who played a couple minutes and got injured and will be out for a long time. So there's also Joe Bryan, who's recovering, while Bobby Reed and Andreas Pereira remain doubtful after picking up injuries during the last game. For Brentford, Ethan Pinnock would remain out, while Sergi Canos and Christopher Aya are nearing a return. So if those players, could feature, it would make Brentford even more formidable. So players to watch for me in terms of Fulham, I'm going to go in with the big man, Alexander Mitrovic up top. He's going to want to make amends for the penalty miss in the last game there against Wolves, where I don't think Fulham were the better team, but when they did get that penalty opportunity, if they had taken it, it would have been 3 points on the board for them. But, Mitrovic, of course, missed his penalty and would need to make amends in this game. So let's see how he follows up from that disappointment. In terms of Brentford, this is going to be a pick that you don't expect me to go with, right? And the player I'm going to go in with for Brentford is Josh Da Silva. What a way to start the season, scoring in back-to-back games, especially that goal against United. Oh, man, that was a really good goal. But the one against Leicester, was a pick of the bunch, of course. Good left-footed shot, and it earned Brentford a point there in the opening match. So let's see if Josh Da Silva could stay fit and continue his good form for the Bees. Guys, so in terms of my prediction for this one here, look, Fulham, I think they did well against Liverpool to pick up a point. They looked a little, they looked okay against Wolves, but I think Wolves were the better team. Fulham struggled a bit, and this game, this London derby, I actually think Brentford are going to continue getting the better of Fulham when it comes to, regular matches and not the championship playoff, put that one aside. But look, just the way Brentford played against United, they come back against Leicester. This team is really hard to write off right now. I don't know why I predicted them to. I'm not gonna flip flop and change up my prediction, but I predicted them to get relegated. They did start the season off well last year and almost did get relegated. But I'm gonna say they're gonna continue doing well and pick up a 3-1, a convincing 3-1 victory over FC Fulham here. And off to a flying start, 7 points this season. That'll help them in terms of staying up for sure, man. So I'm going for Brentford, 3-1. They just look a little bit more settled. Players look more assured and everything. Looks like they know the instruction from the manager, know what they need to do. Ivan Toney is a threat. Embuemo's a threat. The midfield of Jensen, Norgard, Vitaly Janelt, or if they're going with Josh De Silva, these guys are a threat. So, and the defense is solid. And David Raya has been doing a good job in goal. While for Fulham, I think they're still in, what I mean, trying to gel a bit and, get things going in the Premier League this season. So, look, I am predicting Fulham to stay up, like barely, but I think they're going to lose this game. 3-1 to Brentford, in my humble opinion. Guys, let me know your prediction in the chat. Would definitely appreciate that. So, in terms of their next game, Brentford are third right now with 4 points. And after the Fulham game, they will play Colchester in the EFL Cup second round. And we'll talk about the next game when we do the preview, well, the review for the this round. So they do have Everton in the Premier League next. I actually should talk about the Premier League matches as well that they have next. They do have Everton coming up next. As for FC Fulham, who are 13th right now with 2 points in 2 games. After their Brentford game, they do play Crawley Town in the EFL Cup. Then another London derby against Arsenal. So good luck to both teams. All the best. What do you guys say now? Big up to everybody in the house, man. Appreciate you guys coming through for yet another one. We've done with 2 previews. We're going on to number 3 pretty soon. And make sure you stick around for the massive one towards the end. And that's Manchester United versus Liverpool. You're going to want to hear what I have to say about this. You're going to want to hear the prediction and everything. There's also Newcastle versus Manchester City, Leeds versus Chelsea, all coming up. But look, we have the awesome BLE saying 2-0 to Fulham. Big up to Palomo. Big up to Cuthbert, who's saying a 0-0 draw. AD744 in the house. Thank you for coming through. Omar Johnson. Man United is about to take another beat down. 4-0, I predict. Early prediction coming in here for the United game. Guys, make sure you smash up the thumbs up button for the live stream. I worked very hard at this live stream, okay? While I was at work yesterday, I shouldn't say this, but I work hard on this, you know what I mean? Putting together all the information and everything and just, how I do my thing. So make sure y'all like the video, share it, subscribe if you're new. All right, we'll be doing this all season. Paloma is saying 2-1 to Brentford. Paloma Embuemo to score the match winner. All right, thank you very much. We got a 1-1 here for Alexander Hilton. Thank you very much for the predictions, guys. Let us continue. Let us definitely continue. Let's move on, man. We got a lot to do, so we're not gonna, diddle daddle. So the next game that we're gonna talk about is the match between Everton and New Boys Nottingham Forest. All right, so this is a tricky one because Everton, I don't think, have played that badly in their 2 losses, and for Forest, they did pick up a rather lucky win in an improved performance in their last game against West Ham. So this one is indeed a tricky fixture to predict. So in their last game, Aston Villa 2, Everton 1, Nottingham Forest 1, West Ham United 0. In terms of the last meeting between these 2 teams, you're going to go all the way back to 1999 in the Premier League, where these teams have evaded each other in the cup competitions for the last 23 years. And I think this is absolutely amazing, where Forest picked up a 1-0 win back in January 30th, 1999. So it's been a mixed bag of results, where Everton do have 6 wins and Nottingham Forest 4 in their last 10, dating back all the way to 1992. So in the all-time Premier League results, 6 wins, 4 for Everton, 4 for Nottingham Forest. It's the same, and it's just been level. Everton at home, 3 wins, 2 losses. So this is a very, very difficult one to predict, a fixture that we have not seen in a very, very, very long time. So we got to be very, very cautious here in the way we approach this. All right, so Steve Cooper will be facing Frank Lampard for the very, very first time. While for Lampard, this will be the 4th time he's coming up against Nottingham Forest, with 1 win, 1 draw, and a loss. So let us talk about the players. Let us talk about how each team are bolstering their squads. Look, for this one, I'm gonna need to take a drink of water because look, Nottingham Forest have been doing the most. I've never seen. I have never seen, and I repeat, I have never seen a team sign 16 players during any transfer window. 16. You heard it right. 16. Okay. And if I could tell you all 16, I'll be good. But I'm not gonna get into all of that right about now. To be completely honest, I'm just gonna give you an update of some of them that's could come to Nottingham Forest that I was able to caught wind of. That is, all right. But let's start with Everton. Former Everton player Idrissa Gueye is set to sign from PSG, while Everton are rejecting bids from Chelsea for Anthony Gordon. That one has been heating up, and Chelsea are willing to pay £50 million for the very talented winger. And I really don't know why Chelsea are going in for him as if they're going to actually play him every game. Anthony Gordon will be a dumbass to go to Chelsea. Well, he'll get a maybe a pay hike and he'll get to play in the Champions League, but still, for Everton, you're playing every single week. You could play 38 matches. Well, 30 to 38 matches every season. Well, for this season. While you go to Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel is going to have you on the bench, okay, carrying drinks around the field and running around in your bib. Believe me, stay where you at, man. Stay where you at. Unless Everton gets, relegated, then you could move. But right now, stay where you at. Everton needs you. That's all I'm gonna say about that one. But look, Dele Alli is set to join Besiktas on loan with an option to buy. The decline of Mr. Dele Alli. Oh my God! A few seasons ago, him and Jesse Lingard were absolutely on fire in the league and for the England national team, and now he's going to Turkey. Okay, he's going to Turkey. No disrespect to the Turkish league, but Dele Alli had definitely declined, man. I thought he would have actually been able to help Everton this season, but it seems like he's an Everton reject as well. You know what I'm saying? That's low. It's very low. For Forest, however, there's an agreement between Hosem Aouar and Nottingham Forest. They're just waiting for the clubs to find an agreement and, to see on the same page. There's been a bid for 15 million euros, about 10 million pounds, I think. And there's been, I've seen something that said that could be paid in 6 installments. I don't know if Lyon are going to actually budge for 15 million euros. I don't know what happened to Aouar. He was linked with the likes of Man City and Liverpool in the last couple seasons, and I don't know what happened. So Forest could get him though. So Sydney FC signed Joe Lally from Nottingham Forest as well, while Forest agreed fee to sign Huang Weizhou from Bordeaux and plan to loan him to Olympiacos. And they've made, I wrote down 15 to 20 signings, but it's actually 16 so far. There's also been rumors that they're interested in Jibril So of Eintracht Frankfurt, and they could pay 15 to 20 million euros for him. But one that Fabrizio Romano has been talking about up to, maybe a couple hours ago was Morgan Gibbs White, the forward who was on loan, a few loan stints over the last couple seasons from Wolves for 35 million pounds. Where's Nottingham Forest? Yeah, they got money. They got money. You know what I'm saying? They got money. They won that championship playoff, didn't they? You know what I'm saying? And they got the TV revenue as well and all of that. I think that's how they came up, right? The championship playoff. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, they're spending a lot of money. I did predict them to come in 13th. It might be a genius prediction on my behalf, but I've been saying lately that I kind of regretted the prediction because of how they're making all these signings and it might not work out. But I'm going to stick to my prediction still. They brought in Dean Henderson. They brought in the likes of Nico Williams, Harry Tofolo. They brought in Omar Richards. I'm probably missing Musa Niakate. All these guys. Orel Mangala, Jesse Lingard. I think Lewis O'Brien came in, if I'm not mistaken, too. I might be wrong with that one. But Checo Kuyate, Remo Freuler, Taiwo Owani came in. Emmanuel Dennis. They might get rid of Lyle Taylor. He might not see a minute in the Premier League. But that's what's up for Nottingham Forest there. Guys, in terms of player availability and injuries for Everton, Yerry Mina, Andros Townsend, Ben Godfrey, and Abdullah Dukori would definitely be out, while Calvert-Lewin and Andre Gomes, along with Alan, the diminutive midfielder, are nearing returns. So, look, for Forest, I don't actually think what did I miss? I don't know why I do this though. I really don't know why I do this. You know what I'm saying? I write down the players from Everton, but I didn't write anything down for Forest. But for Forest, Omar Richards remain out, where he would be back sometime in October. It says Jack Colback would be out, and he won't be out for a prolonged period of time. And the other player out is Ryan Yates, but he's nearing full fitness. So not much of an injury crisis for Forest there, but for Everton, definitely. They got a problem. Definitely got a problem there. So in terms of players to watch, guys, I'm gonna actually go with Anthony Gordon for Everton. It's gonna be interesting to see how he plays amid the links to Chelsea. These are big links. All right, two-time Champions League winners, multiple Premier League champions, and you get into play Champions League football. You're going to stay in blue, but still, you get into go to London. It's a big move. You know what I mean? You got to put the respect on Chelsea's name. That's a big move. But is it a good move? Maybe it is a good move, but not right now, in my opinion. Not right now. He's 21 years old. You see what Chelsea are doing in terms of guys like Hakim Ziyech, Pulisic, the likes of Cullum Hudson-Odoi, not getting any game time, sporadic, game time. And you're going to go over there? Man, come on, bro. You know what I mean? Use your brain. Turn the move down. Pull a Harry Kane on them. All right? Say no. Just say no. All right, so let's see how he plays, though. But he's one of their best players so far for the last season and some. So, in terms of Nottingham Forest, I was quite impressed with this youngster, I have to say. And he goes by the name of Nico Williams, also 21 years old. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm glad he actually left Liverpool so he could fulfill his potential, because at Liverpool, he would have been sitting on the bench. No doubt about it. No doubt. And I used to suggest that maybe sometimes Klopp could have actually played Nico Williams at right back, put Trent Alexander-Arnold at right wing, throw Salah in the middle or something like that. But, that never happened. But Nico Williams, he had a really good game against West Ham United. So let's see if he follows that one up against Everton. So, look, guys, in terms of my prediction for this one, is a tricky one to predict. But look, Everton's lost their first two matches of the season, and I don't think they played badly. I really don't think they played badly. I think they were quite unlucky not to get something, at least a point from one of those matches. And they must get something from this game. They must get something from newly promoted Nottingham Forest, who are still trying to settle their unit, still trying to gel, okay, still trying to figure out this unfamiliar territory called the Premier League. If Everton fails to win this game, I think it will spell trouble for the Toffees. Indeed. Because this is a newly promoted team. I don't care if it's a newly promoted team. You got to beat these teams. It's imperative. It's not going to happen all the time, but you got to beat these teams to send a statement, to send a message. If you don't do that, you're not sending a clear message at all. So, look, the fact that Everton played well, a player that I also want us to keep an eye on is Amadou Onana. I think he came on in the previous game and changed the game for for better and for worse. He did lose the ball when they conceded, but he did do some very hard work to make a game of it at the end. So expect Amadou Onana to actually start this game, and the Belgian kid looks like he's gonna be one for the future, man. I don't see him spending a very long time at Everton. If he has a good season, and like let's say Everton barely survive, someone's gonna pick him up. And when I say someone, I mean a bigger club. And when I say bigger club, I mean a top six club. You know what I'm saying? Because Everton, they're a big club. But I'm gonna go for them to win this game, however. 2-1, get the better of the new boys, Nottingham Forest, who did look good, but I think were very, very lucky not to lose that game after West Ham hit the post a couple times. And, a couple good chances weren't taken. So I'm gonna go for Everton. Though. Even though they're struggling in terms of their goal scoring form, I think they could muster something up to get over the finish line here with a 2-1 win. So that's my prediction. Let me know yours in the chat. We'll definitely appreciate that. So big up to everybody in the house once again, man. Chelsea Perspective is saying it is a good move for Gordon. He is a perfect Tuchel kind of player. I bet you said the same damn thing about Timo Werner. I bet you did. And I'm going to leave it right there. Big up to my boy Chelsea Perspective. We got to do something this season, though. Last season we spoke about doing something and nothing ever happened, bro. We got to do something. Okay? We got to do something. Devontae Caprice, Nottingham Forest has been busy indeed. So we got a 1-0 prediction here for the Toffee men. I'm backing them this time. And let me see what else we got. Michael Olopido in the house. Thank you very much for tuning in. He's saying a 2-2 draw. Cuthbert McVeigh, 2-0 to Everton. What else we got here, man? Also, Palomo, you're right. Especially Lampard need these wins against the freshman clubs. Also, Lampard himself will be under pressure. My boy Nico is doing his thing. I'm happy for him. He's a talented player indeed. Forest got almost 200 for winning the playoffs. Yeah, man. I guess they throw in all their money in. Just throw it in. And if you do stay up, then you get more and more money next season. And you could, become part of the furniture for the seasons to come. And remember, guys, Forest are European royalty. They won the European Cup before, you know what I'm saying? So got to put the respect on Forest, man. 2-1 to Everton, Gordon and Onana for Everton and Lingard for Forest. So let me see what we got here. I think Ericsson will, even though Lampard is a joke. Forest signed 16 players because they lost like 11. I don't think they lost 11. I think they decided not to move on, go forward with those players. They thought that those players weren't up to par. So they've been letting go players and signing 16. So it's still 16 players signed. I don't care how many you let go. Still 16 players signed. That's a huge overhaul. That's like actually stripping butt naked and putting on new clothes. That's basically what it is. You know what I'm saying? Sorry to paint that picture in your head, though. But that is exactly what it is, though. But yeah, man, we got to do something sometime, though. You know what I mean? But yeah, hopefully when Chelsea's like 10th in the table or something like that and not top. Because you can't quiet your Chelsea fans when you're top of the table. You know what I mean? You'll be oozing with confidence. So we're going to keep it moving. Big up to everybody in the stream, man. Make sure y'all smash up the thumbs up button. We'll definitely appreciate that. And what we're going to be doing right about now, we are going to get into the next game. And this one is a massive one between West Ham United and Brighton and Hove Albion. Look, before we actually get into this one, right? What I want to do, I want to actually take a look at what West Ham did today, because West Ham actually played today in the Conference League playoff, a game that I actually tuned into, and I was watching a little bit of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to act like I saw every single minute, but I did tune into it. I was out shopping with my boy Liam, and I took a glimpse. I tuned in when Skamaka actually scored that goal. So look, what I'm gonna do, I want to pull this game up really quick. Let's, you know, give it up to West Ham, and they picked up a 3-1 win over Viborg of Denmark. Skamaka in the 24th minute, Bowen in the 64th, and Antonio in the 78th. And we had Jakob Jensen in the 69th. This would do players like Skamaka, Bowen, and Antonio a whole lot of good because of course, they haven't scored yet this season, right? And getting on the score sheet would actually do their confidence a whole lot of good. If you check the lineup here, Ariola switched in. You have the likes of Ogbana back from injury, Coventry and Ashby getting a run out, Cornet getting a start, Skamaka getting his first start as well, while the mixture of Lanzini, Bowen, Shusek, Johnson, and Kufal would most likely be featuring in this game here coming up against Brighton. So I think this is actually, a disadvantage for West Ham playing this game today, to be completely honest. This not the ideal time to play a match like this, especially when you're coming up against a well-drilled team like Brighton and Hove Albion. And the game is Sunday. They do have a few days to rest up and refresh and come again. But still, you know what I'm saying? Still, Brighton would have had the whole week to rest and train and get ready for this game. But it could also work for West Ham as they get in more minutes and they get in their engine warmed up and ready to go, something that they haven't done so far this season, right? So this is the first leg. The second leg will be next week, and West Ham will be looking to book their place into the Conference League group stage, where last season they were, of course, in the Europa League group stage. So we're going to go back to this game, man. We're going to go back to the Premier League. Congrats to West Ham on that win indeed. So in terms of the last game, Nottingham Forest 1, West Ham 0. And for Brighton, they played to a 0-0 stalemate against Newcastle United. In terms of West Ham, though, I haven't really caught wind of any injuries in that game against Viborg. So any injury update I give you right now would be before that game, okay? So just keep that one in mind. So in terms of the last meeting between the two teams, Brighton did pick up a 3-1 victory over West Ham on match day 38. So that'll be fresh on their minds. And guys, if you don't know, right, I'm going to let you in on a little secret right now. West Ham has never defeated Brighton and Hove Albion since they got promoted to the Premier League. There's been 4 losses and 6 draws. So 4 wins for Brighton, 6 draws. This is something that is absolutely shocking, in my opinion, that West Ham have not been able to get the better of Brighton and Hove Albion. But it is the stat. It is indeed the stat. So let's give it up to Brighton, man. 20 goals scored, 12 conceded against West Ham since they got promoted to the Premier League back in 17-18. And that's actually the season where I really got into, doing Premier League YouTube content. So it's a very pivotal season for me. So look, David Moyes coming up against Graham Potter. He has never won in 5 games, 4 draws and a loss. And against Brighton, only 1 win in 7. So that has to change. But look, for Potter against West Ham, only 1 win and 5 draws, but he has never lost. So that's an important stat here. So let's see how these two teams fare. But for West Ham, they have never won at home, a home game against Brighton. So that could actually change. Let's talk about the transfer updates for both these teams right now. Let's get into West Ham. So for West Ham, they have signed Thilo Kehrer from PSG. That deal has been completed. You could see him there in the roster as well, next to one of the other new men who is still injured, Naif Aguerd. Both Aguerd actually came in from the Serie A. I think Aguerd came in. Aguerd came in from Ligue 1 as well. I think both came in from Ligue 1, if I'm not mistaken. Aguerd from Lille, one of them. I can't even remember right now, but it doesn't really matter. But for West Ham, they have been linked to the Belgian Hans Van Aken. I think he plays for Genk these days, and Emerson Palmieri and Attila Shalai of Fenerbahce has also been linked. West Ham United did bid for Mateus Nunes, but the player rejected the move and was actually waiting for Liverpool to come in for him. But then the deal was actually completed by Wolverhampton Wanderers for 50 million pounds. We're gonna get to that right very very soon. I think it's 50 million euros including add-ons. And West Ham have also been linked to a player by the name of Jakob Kiwior, a defender from Spezia over in Italy. So, in terms of Brighton and Hove Albion, they signed Ecuadorian left back Pervis Estupinian, and I think that's a very, very good signing, very, very good recruitment done by Brighton and Hove Albion. Look at what they're doing, man. Guys like Bissouma, guys like Cucurella, Neil Mupay sold on, and just Cha-Ching, man. Big money coming in for Brighton and Hove Albion. And I'm pretty sure there's a few players I'm not actually mentioning right now. You think Dan Burns sold to Newcastle as well, So they just a very well-run football club. I think Man United probably wish they were run as well as Brighton and Hove Albion. But bringing in Pervis Estupinian, very prolific last couple seasons for Villarreal and for Ecuador. He will be at the World Cup barring injuries as well. So that deal was worth 17 million euros. Very, very good deal, though. So 17-year-old Luca Barrington signs from Manchester City as well. He's probably going to go down into the youth setup. Neil Mupay joined Nottingham Forest for 15 million. Arsenal and Man United are actually looking to sign Moises Caicedo, the Ecuadorian youngster. And before he signed to Brighton, United actually wanted to sign him. I could remember United being all over this player. And also some more transfer news. Goalkeeper Kel Sherpin joined Vitesse on a season-long loan. So a lot of information, man. A lot of information. A lot of information I've been giving you guys, man. And, I know you love it. I know you appreciate it. And, I'll keep bringing that heat for sure, for sure, for sure. Look, a player that you guys should keep an eye on is Karu Mitoma. He was signed from the J League. I was actually looking in at the J League. I was doing some research on something, and I realized that he came directly from the J League. Neil Mupay is still in the roster. They need to take him out. But, I want to see what Dennis Undav actually does in the Premier League as well when he gets his opportunity, because he was the one that helped Union Saint-Gilloise in the Belgian League to do so well last season. So, in terms of player availability here, for West Ham, Naif Aguirre is still out injured, while Angelo Agbana is now fit again, and Craig Dawson should be nearing full fitness as well. For Brighton and Hove Albion, the squad is pretty fit as we speak, where Jakob Moda is the only player out injured, and he'll be out until sometime after the 2022 World Cup. So in terms of players to watch for West Ham, I'm going to go for Jared Bowen because, look, he did score in a game against Viborg, but in terms of the Premier League, he has not started off well. He has not hit the ground running. He did not continue where he left off from last season, and that could be somewhat of a worry, right? But the fact that he scored against Viborg, who knows what he's going to do against Brighton if he does get his opportunity. So let's keep an eye on Jared Bowen. West Ham's success heavily depends on how prolific or not prolific he is this season. So he is one of my players to watch. So on the other end, in terms of Brighton and Hove Albion, this is a weird one. This is a weird pick. But I'm going to actually go in here for Danny Welbeck. I think Welbeck is being given the opportunities, this season, 31 years old these days. Former Man United, former Arsenal man. He's getting his, opportunity at Brighton, but he has to score more goals. You know what I'm saying? So let us see what Danny Welbeck does in this game, or Brighton would have to give the opportunity to Undav or somebody else. You see what I'm saying? So let's keep an eye on what Danny Welbeck does. So, guys, in terms of my prediction for this one, it's prediction time. Get your predictions ready to share in the chat. Look, To be completely honest, that stat I just read you, that Brighton never lost to West Ham, I totally forgot the stat. I don't really look at the stats like that before I make my prediction, to be honest. I try to go on how I feel from the last game and how the teams have been playing. I don't really go into history and be like, oh, this team never beat Man United. Yeah, but every team does eventually beat Man United after 80 years. You see what I'm saying? And, you know, with Brighton, they never lost to West Ham, not once. You see what I'm saying? In the Premier League. And for some reason, I went for 2-1 win for Brighton. Just because on the merit of how they're playing and the fact that West Ham had that Europa League game in the middle of the week, I think it's going to affect them quite a bit in terms of fatigue. So I'm going to go for Brighton. They look good. They picked up 1 point against Newcastle. And to keep Newcastle quiet these days is a big feat. They beat United on the first match day, and I think that was a huge win. I'm going for them to pick up yet another win and continue their surge in the Premier League. 2-1. Graham Potter is the man. I don't mind Graham Potter being the future manager of Manchester City. Just want to put that out there very, very early. And I hear people saying, oh, I don't mind him being the manager of Liverpool too. So I'm like, okay. I've been saying that. I've been talking up Graham Potter a long time. Long time. So 2-1 to Brighton. I think West Ham would score. They have threats. Skamaka, Antonio, Bowen, Lanzini, Fornals. All these guys are threats. But I just think, they're going to be a bit leggy after that Europa League game. And Brighton, a very, very sharp unit, moves the ball very, very well. I call them mini Man City. They're a very, very annoying team to play against. And 2-1 win for the Seagulls here. So that's my prediction. Let me know yours in the chat. So in terms of 8th place Brighton and their next game, they will play for Forest Green Rovers in the EFL Cup, followed by a game against Leeds United. As for West Ham United, who are just above Manchester United in the table in 19th, their next game will be against Viborg in the Conference League. All right, so they won't play their EFL Cup game just as yet. All right, they will play against Viborg next week, where they do have a 3-1 advantage before the Claret and Blue Derby against Aston Villa. So that's my thoughts on that one, guys. Talk to me in the chat. We'll definitely appreciate that, man. So let me take a sip of this beverage that I have here. I have some passion fruit juice, help the throat and everything. I've been doing a lot of talking, bang out 4 previews already. There's 6 to go. It's a lot of work, a lot of work. 52 minutes, man. God damn, I'm going to be here all freaking night. All right. What are you guys saying right now? Brighton and Munich, big up to Philip Bidwell, 2-1 to the Hammers. Kurt McVeigh, 2-1 to West Ham. Alexander Hilton, 2-1 to Brighton. Lego Dude, big up to everybody in here. We got over 100 people in the house, man. Thanks for everybody tuning in, guys. Make sure you smash up the thumbs up button. Listen. Just ease back a bit and run off and dive off and hit the thumbs up button as hard as you can. Try not to hurt yourself in the process, though. So Jonathan Rincon in the house, man. Big up to you. Michael Olapido is saying 2-2 draw. What else we got here? Dom, what are your thoughts on Casemiro to Man United? Man, wait now, man. Wait. Have a little patience, man. We'll get there. We gonna get there, okay? Anyways, let's continue. Trying to get information out of me faster, than you should. But we'll get there, man. We'll definitely get there. So the next game that we're going to talk about is the one between, where's that? Leicester and Southampton. Remember a couple years ago, I was going to pick up my daughter from school. And while driving, I was actually following a game where Leicester went on to defeat Southampton 9-0. You scroll down right here. Nah, it's not listed there though. It's quite a bit of games. It's over 5 games ago. Back in 2019 or sometime, So yeah, that one's still fresh on the head though. You know what I'm saying? Southampton, you ain't gonna get away from those two 9-0 drubbings you received. But look, let's talk Leicester versus Southampton. In their last game, Arsenal defeated Leicester 4 goals to 2, and Southampton picked up a brilliant come from behind draw against Leeds United. In the last meeting between the two teams, however, for Leicester versus Southampton, Leicester picked up a whopping 4-1 victory. And since the 9-0 drubbing, Southampton did defeat Leicester 2 goals to 1. And shockingly, that was after the 9-0 drubbing. So they did get their revenge, but 5 games since, they have failed to defeat Leicester City. And Southampton do have 2 wins in their last 10, dating back to 2018. In terms of their all-time Premier League results, 32 matches, 8 wins for the Saints, 13 wins for the Foxes, and 11 games ended in a draw. This would be the 8th meeting between Hasenhüttl and Brendan Rodgers, where Hasenhüttl has only picked up 1 win, 4 losses, and 2 draws, with Brendan Rodgers the inverse of that record. His record against Leicester, however, reached 2 wins, 4 losses, and 2 draws, while for Brendan Rodgers against Southampton, it's a brilliant record, 8 wins, 3 draws, and only 3 losses. So look, man, Leicester, of course, the favorites here, Southampton, coming in as underdogs, going through somewhat of a transition. So, in terms of the transfer updates for both teams, not much to really talk about, but Wesley Fofana remains a big target for Chelsea, where the player himself is actually wanting to force the move because Chelsea wants him. They bid £80 million. Leicester turned down the bid, and the player wants the move. Of course, he wants to play Champions League football. He wants, his probability of winning trophies to go up. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably and most likely a dream for him to play for Chelsea. At least that's what I read. They still don't believe everything you read, but still, I think as a youngster, he would, probably dream of playing for Chelsea when he was a bit younger. So, and he's still young. So maybe he's still dreaming. So let's see if that one go through. But Chelsea, the thing I don't understand about Chelsea, they have talent, and they keep letting go the talents. A Mark Guehi, a Fikayo Tomori, guys like Tammy Abraham, you know what I'm saying? Kevin De Bruyne, Mo Salah. And then they go and spend this kind of money, and then, they find themselves in a crisis like with Lukaku and with guys like Timo Werner not working out and this one not working out. But then again, Chelsea fans would say, yeah, we did beat you in the Champions League final anyway, so shut up, okay? So, yeah. So let me continue, man, before I get a comment like that. But that's the only update right now on Leicester. But James Maddison is said to be signing a new contract as well, so let's keep an eye on that one. And he's been linked with a move to Newcastle too. So, and of course, Jamie Vardy name was called up with United. I don't know if that one's ever going to happen. But for Southampton, Girona are actually interested in signing Oriol Romeo, who's out of contract in 2023. So that's the only updates I have for those two teams here. So for player availability, for Leicester, Ricardo Pereira, Ryan Bertrand, and Harvey Barnes would all miss the game, whereas Harvey Barnes is the closest, is closer to a return than the other two. While for Southampton, Valentino Livramento will be out until next year, and Theo Walcott remains on the treatment table. He's very, very injury prone. I think he needs to go play in League One or League Two, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll just call it a day in terms of his career. He's had a long career, but the Premier League is a bit too tough for him these days. So in terms of players to watch for Leicester, this man right here, Danny Ward. Danny Ward. That's my player to watch. I have not been impressed with Danny Ward whatsoever. Just want to put it out there. He needs to step his blood clot game up. That's all I'm going to say about him. And we're going to continue on to the next player. So player to watch for Southampton is a youngster by, damn, We have ghosts in here. A hat just fell down from the window ledge over there. God damn, that kind of threw me off. Is a young player by the name of Sekou Mara, who was brought in from Bordeaux, who I think got relegated to the third tier of French football, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? To play with the farmers and the fishermen. So he was actually picked up. He's only 20, and he picked out a Kyle Walker Peters with one of the most exquisite passes you would ever see. I thought it was Kevin De Bruyne, actually. You know what I'm saying? But it was Sikumara. So keep an eye on him. I'm pretty sure Hassan Hutter is going to start him in this game. You got to start him. You know, you need inspiration like that to get results. And that's the type of inspiration that earned them a result in the last game there against Leeds. Okay, so that's my player to watch. So, in terms of prediction here between Leicester and Southampton, however, guys, I'm going to go for Leicester to pick up a 3-1 victory over Southampton. I just think, Leicester with Jamie Vardy and Madison, along with guys like Tielemans, is just going to prove to be a bit too much. Keenan Dewsbury Hall has been a prominent figure in their midfield as well. And just the kind of, football that Leicester plays. I think Southampton are a bit vulnerable right now with the transition, bringing in a lot of new players and still trying to find that 11, that I think Hassan Hutter want to go with this season. And I just think less is going to be a little bit too much for Southampton. They're going to get a goal, and they're going to threaten as well, where Leicester's defense could be a bit iffy these days, especially at set piece situations. So you want to keep James Ward-Prowse off the ball. Amate isn't that good in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So I think Leicester's gonna get the victory here. 3-1. 3-1. They've threatened in terms of goal scoring. 2 goals in the first game, but the defense let them down. 2 goals against Arsenal, the defense let them down. It's about time that they pick up the victory, and I think it's gonna be this game. 3-1. They've been getting the better of Southampton over the last few years as well. So I think that trend is definitely going to continue. Guys, let me know your prediction in the chat. We'll definitely and I'll be very grateful if you do that. So, look, for Leicester City, the next game, they're 15th in the league right now with 1 point. They will play Stockport in the EFL Cup, while the next Premier League game will be against Chelsea. As for Southampton, who are 17th with also 1 point, they will play Cambridge United in the EFL Cup, and their next game will be against the team everybody's been taking advantage of, guys. Take a guess. Take a guess. Do I need to spell it out? Manchester United, man. Manchester United. Come on. It took a long time to get that answer, but it is Man United. And I won't write off Southampton getting a win in that game either. That's what I put it out there, man. So, what are you guys saying in the chat right about now? Big up to everybody. I got something special coming for the Liverpool Manchester United game. So, stay tuned for that one. Big up to the obvious girl. Philip Bedwell is saying 2-2 draw. What else we got here, man? So, Dom, why do you got so many FIFA cards behind you? These are actually from cardsplug.com. All the links in the description box down below for anyone who's interested in getting one. You got a nice juicy discount if you use my code. But I've always wanted one of these cards, so I did get one. The first one I got was that one up in the corner up there, the Legends card, and then I got a couple more. I got that one for Mel because we did something for Cards Plug, but they never really put it out. It was supposed to be an ad. And, I put a lot of effort into it, but they never put it out. So whatever, man. So I got a couple. I got that one and that one. So I like him. I have to get another one. You know what I mean? Maybe of my wife or something and put it on the wall. But big up to everybody in the stream, man. Guys, make sure you smash up the thumbs up button for the live stream. Devonta Caprice is saying, I think Leicester will get sacked 2-0 to Southampton. Big up to Mr. Ecosium Antique. Hi, Dom. Do you believe Elon Musk can buy United? I did see that. I did see something like that going around. But I hope he doesn't. I hope he keeps his nose out of the Premier League. What else we got here? Clinical in the house, man. Big up to you, 1-1. Cuthbert McVeigh, 2-2. What else we got, man, in terms of prediction? Let me see. All right, so I'm gonna leave it right there, guys. We're gonna keep it going. I want to cover as much as I can before my boy Liam wakes up. Remember, he's sitting there on his makeshift bed. I put together two cushions from my old couch, wrap it up in a sheet, and I got him down there in a nice heavy blanket. So he's in dreamland right now. So I'm halfway through. I'm hoping that I could do some more before he wakes up. But if he does wake up, I'll usher him back to sleep and most likely put him back down. So the fact that he's sleeping now, he might not go to sleep until maybe 2 in the morning when he gets up. But look, you got to do what you got to do, man. It's just a sacrifice that I'm doing to get this content out. Guys, it's a challenge, man. I'm telling you, it is a challenge these days, man. It's not the days when, my wife never used to work and everything, but, it's a bit difficult these days. Look, we're going to get into the sixth game, and this game is the match between Bournemouth and Arsenal here. So Bournemouth versus Arsenal. So, look, let's get into this one. Let's definitely get into this. So, look, Man City 4, Bournemouth 0 in their last game. Arsenal 4, Leicester 2 in their last. In terms of the last time these two teams met, well, it was a 2-1 win for the Gunners in the fourth round of the FA Cup. And Bournemouth only has one win in their last 10 games dating back to 2016 against Arsenal. And there's been two draws sprinkled in there. A 3-3 draw back in 2017 and a 1-1 draw in 2019, the last time they were actually in the Premier League. So the all-time Premier League record reads 10 matches, one win for Bournemouth. There's been two draws and 7 wins for Arsenal, 23-9 in favor of the Gunners. So Arsenal, of course, we know, former Premier League champions and everything. Bournemouth, an underdog team coming up from the lower leagues and everything to, Premier League glory. They are back and they mean business under Scott Parker, who's gonna face Mikel Arteta for the third time, and he's failed to pick up any wins against Arteta or Arsenal with a draw and a loss. So Arteta has a good record against Bournemouth, while for Scott Parker, not so much against, Arsenal. So look, in terms of players here and any transfer updates for both teams, let's talk a bit about Bournemouth. So they've been actually linked to Ben Brereton Diaz, the Chilean international from Blackburn, who's also been linked to Nice and Everton. So let's see how that one will work out. I doubt they'll end up getting him. Ben Brereton will probably go to Nice to play in the French league. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he might actually get a better wages with Bournemouth or Everton. Everton would be the better wages, I think. But the French league might be better suited to him, in my opinion, though. You know what I'm saying? He has a more opportunity to maybe get into the Conference League or the Europa League with Nice than with Bournemouth or Everton. So for Arsenal, they're interested in Brighton's Moses Caicedo. I did mention that one earlier. While Nicola Pepe, the big money signing from Lille, is being linked back to the French League to Nice. Okay, so let's see if that one happens before the transfer window closes. While Rob Holding is also being linked with Aston Villa, and I did mention that one before. So in terms of player availability and injuries, guys, for Bournemouth, Davy Brooks remain out injured, while Joe Rothwell and Ryan Fredericks, who came in on a free from West Ham, remain out. Dominic Solanke and Jordan Zemura are actually close to full fitness. For Arsenal, Reece Nelson remain out, while Fabio Vieira, the new man from Porto, is close to full fitness and could make his debut pretty soon. So players to watch, man. Mark Travers, okay? Hopefully for him, it does not end up in a travesty against Arsenal, because Arsenal have been on absolute fire so far this season, scoring tons of goals. You see what I mean? They've been very prolific. You got the likes of Martinelli, Jesus, Odegaard, Saka, Smith Rowe. You name them, they're a goal threat. even the likes of Granit Xhaka chipping in with a goal. Travers is going to have his work cut out for him, just like he did against Manchester City, and expect him to be a busy man between the sticks. Keep an eye on Mark Travers. Or who knows if Bournemouth's going to start the game with Neto, who came in from Barcelona. So it's kind of weird that you came in from Barcelona as number 2 and you're at Bournemouth and you're still number 2. So maybe we'll see Neto sooner rather than later. Maybe if Mark Travers concede a lot of goals in this game, they'll think about switching him. For Arsenal, man, listen, man, it has to be one guy, and it is a former Manchester City striker, Gabriel Jesus. And you say Jesus, and you think born again. The man is literally born again. A new lease on life, basically. The license to kill. The license to skill, the license to ill, the license to go out there and just express yourself and just score goals without the stress of and the scrutiny of Manchester City fans and Pep Guardiola on your neck. The monkey has been knocked off his back, basically, and Gabriel Jesus is definitely the player to watch for this game. You know, I know I went in a little bit with the wordplay and all of that with that one, but I gotta give you guys that fire, man. You know what I'm saying? It's the only thing I know how to do. Give you that fire. So look, I don't want to get too carried away. So let's get into the prediction here. Guys, Bournemouth versus Arsenal right now is a mismatch. I think Bournemouth started the season off well with a win against Aston Villa. But if you check their games after the Aston Villa match, they were actually scheduled for a rude awakening. You talk Manchester City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. Maybe not so much Liverpool. Big up to all the Liverpool fans in the house, man. But I gotta hit you with a little banter. You know what I'm saying? I gotta mess with you. But look, my prediction for this one is 4-1 in favor of Arsenal, for them to go out there and bag a bunch of goals again. They're gonna go out there and play attractive football, open, attractive, brand of football, as I just mentioned. And why did I say attractive twice? But they're just gonna go out there and play positive stuff, man. Saka and Gabriel Jesus. They're just gonna just continue forward thinking football. You know what I mean? And hopefully for their fans, that old Arsenal of the past does not kick in. But Arsenal 4, Bournemouth 1. I think opening game, Kiefer Moore, Solanke, these guys look good. But they need a special performance to beat this Arsenal team. And I don't think they have that in them. So 4-1 to the Gunners. I'm going to keep it short and sweet and keep it moving. So in terms of the next game between the two teams, for Bournemouth, who right now are 11th in the league with 3 points, big 3 points that they picked up there on opening day. They have Norwich in the next round of the EFL Cup, while the next Premier League game will be against Liverpool. For the Gunners, who are second in the table and will be hoping to stay right there and maybe get into a Premier League title race against Manchester City, their next game will be against Fulham in a London derby. So good luck to both teams. Guys, let me know your predictions. Let me know your thoughts. All right? So don't forget, we got the big games coming up. Manchester City, Newcastle United. I do have a preview for that one scheduled to do tomorrow with my boy Steve Mahala, who's a big Newcastle fan. We plan to do that on a Friday night. You know what I mean? So look for that one. I will still give you a taste tonight, but I'm not going to get too crazy in-depth tonight. What I'm going to get in-depth with is the Liverpool United game, the Chelsea Leeds game. You know what I mean? I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty of that one. Also, coming up, we do have to talk about Wolves. You know what I mean? We got to talk about Tottenham. You know what I'm saying? You still got some fire matches to talk about. So what are you guys saying in the chat right about now? 3-0 to Arsenal. Big up to Clinical. Lego Dude, 3-0 to Arsenal. Let me see. Lego Dude, everyone hit the like button. Super close to 50. Guys, smash up the thumbs up button. Let's get it up to 75 likes. We could do better than that. we could at least do better than that. Let me hit the like button and help out with that as well. And we could do much better, man. We could do much better. What we got here in terms of likes? We had 36 likes. Am I seeing this right? Come on, guys. Smash up the thumbs up button. All right. Jonathan Rincon is saying, I want to see Matt Turner, the American, get his opportunity this game, and hopefully he does. That's not happening. That is not happening, okay? 5-1 to Arsenal, 4-1 to Arsenal, 4-1, 4-0. You guys get the point, you know what I mean? You guys are with the program. 5-1 says all-time Seagull. Thank you very much for tuning in. Are you a Brighton fan? Big up to you. Never seen you around here. But big up, man. Nice to see you. So, look, like the video, guys, and we are going to move on to the next game that we have scheduled here. And that one is the match between Tottenham and Wolverhampton Wanderers. All right. So Tottenham versus Wolves. Awoo! Promises to be a very enthralling affair indeed. So Chelsea 2, Tottenham 2 in their last game. Controversial affair. Wolves nil, Fulham nil. A very, very feisty 0-0 affair as well. In terms of their last meeting, that was a Premier League match back in February the 13th. Wolves did pick up a 2-0 victory over Chelsea, which was one of 3 victories that they picked up all the way dating back to 2012. So not a bad record, and there's 2 draws sprinkled in there as well. So this game is just a tricky one to predict, I have to say. In 16 all-time Premier League matches, Spurs do have 8 wins, Wolves do have an impressive 5, and 3 games have ended in draws. So they have not lost over 50% of their games against Chelsea. For Antonio Conte coming up against Bruno Lage, this will be the second ever match between the 2 managers where Conte aimed to get his revenge after that loss last season. And this will be only his 3rd game against Wolves, 1 win and 1 loss. For Bruno Lage, 4th game against Spurs have yielded 1 win and 2 losses so far. So let's see how the managers fare and see who will come out on top in terms of their tactical genius. So let's talk a bit about the transfer update for both teams. You know what I mean? I have something for you here. So for Spurs, they've been linked to Blackburn starlet Ashley Phillips. And let's see, he's also been linked with Man United and Chelsea. Maybe one for the future. And Napoli signed Tanguy Ndombele on a 1 million loan fee, and there's a 30 million euro buy option as well. So just keep that one in mind. It's just sad what happened to Tanguy Ndombele, man. You know what I mean? So promising, so promising, but a little bit of attitude problem didn't work out. You know, you think Nicola Pepe, you think Tanguy Ndombele, these talented Frenchmen just have not worked out in the Premier League at all. So let me take a sip of my water. The boy Liam is turning and twisting over there. I don't want to wake him up, so let me use the opportunity to take a sip. Okay. So Tottenham signed Destiny Udogie, an Italian fullback signed from Udinese and sent back to Udinese on loan. So don't know why they're signing so many fullbacks, but they would know better than I. You know what I mean? Maybe one for the future. Giovanni Lo Celso rejoins Villarreal on loan as well. And Spurs are looking to offload Brian Hill if a replacement is actually found. And just some U-team news I have for you guys. It's like a transfer as well, but Yaya Toure and Jermaine Defoe joined the academy coaching staff. So congrats to both players. Formerly of Jermaine Defoe, formerly of Tottenham, recently of Rangers, Bournemouth, I could remember. Many clubs. He was a journeyman. And Yaya Toure, of course, man, formerly of Olympiacos and Manchester City, Barcelona as well, Côte d'Ivoire. Okay, so for Wolves, guys, Wolves news. Wolves signed Mateus Nunes, 50 million euros with add-ons included from Sporting CP. And the agent responsible for this is Jorge Mensch or Mendes. He's been bringing all the Portuguese players over to Wolverhampton Wanderers, and there was a recent Portuguese player signed recent as well by the name of Gonzalo Guedes. You can remember him around 17 years old. PSG paid about 50 million euros for him. You know what I mean? So these players, let's see how they fare in the Premier League. But this is a big sign because Mateus Nunes is actually a player that was linked heavily to Manchester City and big time to Liverpool. And I'm surprised that Liverpool actually let him slip and go to Wolves. So I think Liverpool didn't want to pay that type of money. That's the only thing I could think about. They didn't want to pay that type of money. Or maybe they don't rate the player like that. Come on. Come on, Mr. Sleepyhead. Come on. Come on. Go to sleep some more. All right. He finally woke up, guys. Finally woke up. So, but it's all good. He'll go back to sleep, though. So, big signing, Mateus Nunes. Let's see what he actually does in the Premier League. I've never actually seen the player. I didn't go on YouTube and check out his highlights because that's all they have on YouTube, highlights. I want to see some lowlights as well. But Wolves also part ways with Morgan Gibbs White for £35 million to Nottingham Forest. So let us see how that one work out. And it seems as if Bruno Lage really had Morgan Gibbs White in his plans because he started the opening two matches, and it came as a shock to me that Forest wanted him, and he's so highly rated, yet he has not really, you know, been scoring any goals in the Premier League and or doing anything when he had his opportunity. Maybe I think he probably did well during his loan stints, but that's basically it though. So it's a big risk in my opinion. So in terms of player availability here for Spurs, Ollie Skip remains injured out, and Clement Longley is a doubt. A player that I haven't seen as well. I have to touch on this one, and maybe it's because he could be possibly leaving the club as well. And that's Harry Winks. I haven't seen nothing of Harry Winks this season. So let's keep an eye on the Harry Winks situation. You know, it's going to be interesting to see what Spurs does with Pape Matar as well. He's a very talented player, you know, but Brian Hill, of course, you know, he could be on the way out. So in terms of Wolves, the very talented Chiquinho remains out injured, while Raul Jimenez, his injury layoff goes on for yet another week, while Joao Moutinho is close to full fitness. So, in terms of players to watch, guys, I'm going to go in with Son Heung-min. And the reason why I'm going for Son is because this is 2 games now, and Son is yet to score. Okay, let's check his stats right now. And let's check his stats for this season. Son stats, 2 appearances, no goals. He did have 1 assist, but still, this is not like Son. You see what I'm saying? Spurs have scored 6 goals and he has not scored any. So, Son is due. He's due, man. He's due. So, I think this is the game for him to, you know what I mean, finally come of age this season. Let's see if he's actually going to do so. So, in terms of Wolverhampton Wanderers and their player to watch, I'm actually gonna go in for let's just get back to the player page first. And I'm gonna go for their goalkeeper Jose Sa, who did pull off a big goal penalty save in the last game there against Fulham. So if they are to pick up a positive result against Spurs, they're gonna need Sa to come up big because trust me, their goal is gonna be bombarded by Tottenham. Kulusevski, Kane, Son, the midfield of Hybier, who's got into this goal scoring act as well lately. The fullbacks, the defenders coming up for set pieces. So definitely Jose Sa, who I think has been very impressive since he joined Wolverhampton Wanderers, and he is also another Portuguese player. Guys, do you know how many Portuguese players are in the Wolverhampton Wanderers setup? Let's take a look. We got Jose Sa. We got Nelson Semedo, Totti Gomez, Bruno Jardel, Ruben Neves, Daniel Podence, João Moutinho, Mateus Nunes, the latest addition, Pedro Neto, Gonzalo Guedes, Chiquinho. God damn! You got a whole team. You got a whole team. But guys, look, in terms of my prediction here for this game, look, man, Spurs started off with a bang. Big win against Southampton. Followed it up with a controversial but impressive draw, nevertheless, against Chelsea. So they've been scoring. They've been scoring and they've been rather good in defense. Solid. Not bad. Not bad. I think one of the goals against Chelsea could have been, prevented, but still. They haven't been that bad. Wolves started the season off very slowly. A loss. And, they give up a lead in the first game against Leeds, and they drew the last game there against Fulham. Not a bad start. They're a team that always look good, but they might not get the result that they deserve, or they're the team that could be the undoing of a bigger team. You see what I'm saying? And they're very capable of beating Tottenham. But this Spurs team this season is different, I think, from seasons before, where they're playing with more intent and they just look like they have, a better mentality under Antonio Conte. And they're very, very difficult outfit to push aside. I have no choice here but to go for a 3-1 win for Tottenham. 3-1 to start the season off with a bang, go up to 7 points, while for Wolves, they stay on 1. I don't think in terms of the goal scoring threat, they have enough to actually win over games against teams like Spurs. Maybe the other, teams that are struggling right now, but not well put together and well managed team like Tottenham and, the likes of, City when it gets to that and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna go for 3-1, man. I'm gonna go for 3-1. You know what I'm saying? I think Pedro Neto needs to leave Wolves, actually. You know what I'm saying? Any team looking for a good forward, Pedro Neto. Coming back from injury, still very talented. He needs a new adventure, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go for Spurs to win the game 3-1. So guys, talk to me. Let me know your prediction in the chat, man. So what we got? What we got? So 3-1 to Spurs. Big up to Christopher Whitaker. So City to storm to the title this year. Can't see anyone touching us. As for Liverpool versus United, I'm going for 3-1 Liverpool. Thank you very much for that prediction. I'm going to drop my prediction later, okay? So stick around for that. Big up to Marcel, who's saying Portugal FC. Isaiah Paskins. What's good, Dom? Just said goodbye to my friend before he goes to college, man. All the best to your friend. I went to college, for quite a few years, you know what I mean? So it's a fun experience. Big up to Alexander Hilton again. 3-0 to Spurs. Brawlberry 3-1 to Spurs. Ethan Murray, hi Dom. I think 4-2 to Spurs. Hi, how are you doing? Nice to see you in here. Winks, dead baller. Would be good at a mid to lower table club. Yes, indeed. Wolves basically scammed Nottingham Forest by getting £40 million of Morgan Gibbs White. Tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. So big up to Tees TV, Arsenal versus Live. 2-0 to 2-0 against Arsenal. I told you it's Arsenal versus Live and you predicted against Arsenal. Yeah. No game is easy. Okay. All right. What else we got here, man? All right, that's it for the predictions, guys. We are going to keep it moving, man. We're doing very, very, very well in terms of these matches, and we have to keep it moving, okay? So don't forget to smash the thumbs up button for the live stream. Subscribe if you're new around these parts. I'll be going live all year, and I'll be bringing you guys some World Cup content very soon. I already start brainstorming. I'm thinking about it. And when I start thinking about something, it's going to get done. It is going to get done. All right. So we're going to get into the next game, man. We're doing well. And we've we've been doing well. We did Spurs, Wolves, Crystal Palace, Villa, Everton, Forest, Fulham, Brentford, Leicester, Southampton, Bournemouth. Oh God, we're doing better than I thought. We're gonna move into the eighth match this week, and that's Leeds United versus Chelsea. Big, big, big game, man. Big, big, and I mean massive game historically in terms of these two clubs. Okay, so Leeds versus Chelsea here. So in terms of Leeds, a disappointing 2-2 draw against Southampton in their last game. And for Spurs, not Spurs, but Chelsea, a disappointing 2-2 draw against Spurs in their last game as well. So both teams coming into this match on exact result and felt like they should have walked away with all 3 points. Leeds in sixth, Chelsea currently in seventh. What happened the last time these two teams met each other? Well, Chelsea did the league double over Leeds last time around, which was last season, of course. And Leeds' last victory over Spurs dates all the way back to 2002, where they picked up a 2-0 win. They did manage a 0-0 draw on their return to the Premier League back in 2021 under Marcelo Bielsa, but it's been all wins for Chelsea, all wins apart from those results and the draw back in 2003. So only three positive results for Leeds dating back to 2002. Guys, Chelsea are the favorites here, which means there's a lot of pressure on them to go out there and get the win. So I think Leeds know that, and they're gonna go and they're gonna put their best foot forward, and they could pull off maybe a draw and shock the Blues here. So that's the result I'm actually hoping for too. I just want to put that out there. So big up to any Chelsea fans watching this. Yeah, I would love for you guys to draw this game. But that's not my prediction. Though I'll get to the prediction part. I'm just a little bit of banter in between there. So Jesse March coming up against Thomas Tuchel for the second time, where Tuchel won that first game against the two managers last season, and Thomas Tuchel has never lost a game against Leeds in the three previous matches he managed against them. 2 wins and a draw. All-time Premier League results between the two teams: 28 matches, 8 wins for Leeds, 11 for Chelsea, and 9 draws. Okay? So, look, in terms of the transfer updates here for both clubs, let's talk. Man United want Ilian Melier to maybe most likely be their backup goalkeeper. And I think that's like very disrespectful of Manchester United to think anybody's going to go to their club to sit on the goddamn bench. Okay? Put some respect on the man's name. Just want to put it out there. But Wolves, not Wolves, but Leeds said that the player is untouchable and he's part of, their future plans. So that ain't happening. Leeds also show interest in Zurich's Wilfried Ginanto, the Italian international, and Philadelphia Union Kai Wagner. That's all the information I got on Leeds in terms of transfers, but let's keep an eye and see if they'll do any more business. For Chelsea, they are in pursuit of both Wesley Fofana and Anthony Gordon, who, are young players of Leicester and Everton, respectively. While they are in pursuit of Frankie de Jong and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang of Barcelona, where Aubameyang, they're looking to go into talks and looking to bring in Aubameyang within the next few days. The deal for Italian centre-back Cesare Casade is almost done. I don't know if they're going to send him back out on loan or if they're going to keep him and use him. While for players like Christian Pulisic, you're seeing him linked with a move to Manchester United, possible loan move. Emerson Palmieri's been linked all over the place. Marcos Alonso, his deal with Barcelona is still trying to go through. Barcelona's trying to register players and all of that nonsense. Hakim Ziyech, still not, part of Tuchel's plans this season. Callum Hudson-Odoi could be on a move as well. And the latest one is Trevor Chalobah linked with a move away, and that club is Inter Milan. So could Chalobah be another player where Chelsea send him out and probably sell him and go on to regret. Why are you sending? Maybe Tuchel just say Chalobah is not the man for me, because you have a center back there, a young center back. You don't want him. You already sent out Malang Sarr. So I don't know, man. Ethan Ampadu's still in the squad. I'm pretty sure they're gonna, either sell him or loan him out as well. So I don't know what's going on with Chelsea, man. But they brought in Khalidou Koulibaly, Cucurella, and listen, with this kind of, you know, kind of, um, you know, let me find the right word. Let me find the right word to use here. Oh boy, the word the word is eluding me right now. You know what I'm saying? But with this type of oh god, let's say indecisiveness by Thomas Tuchel when it comes to which player he trusts, which player he's gonna keep, which player he's gonna sell. It can't work out too good for Chelsea in terms of them putting up a title challenge this season, or even a challenge for the Champions League again. You know what I mean? Because they're just all over the place, man. They're all over the place. All over the place. Starting Ben Chilwell in the opening game, then bringing in Mark Cucurella after, dropping Aspilicueta. So I don't know, man. I really don't know. I really don't know what Chelsea's on about. And Thomas Tuchel needs to get his act together. By the way, Tuchel will not feature on the touchline for this game as he picked up a red card in the last one against Spurs. Let me just put it out there before it slipped me, okay? And also for Spurs, Kante will not be on the touchline. And I did forget to mention that, but I don't think it would affect Spurs whatsoever. And it may not affect Chelsea. You just have to wait and hear what my prediction is. So, look, for player availability here, for Leeds, Stuart Dallas remains out along with Luke Ayling and Junior Firpo, while Liam Cooper is nearing a return and Patrick Bamford remains a doubt after picking up an injury in the last game. For Chelsea, Mateo Kovacic and N'Golo Kante will definitely be out, while Marcos Alonso will not feature because he's still trying to finalize his deal to Barcelona. There might be other players who's going to miss the game, but that's all I have for now. It's subject to change, guys. So, in terms of my prediction for this one, right? I'm going to go for Chelsea to pick up a win here. I think they didn't play too well against Everton, in my opinion, but they managed to get the penalty, got the win. A win is a win. Against Spurs, they did look the better team. Somehow managed to let Spurs back in the game. Controversial refereeing decisions as well. I think they should have won that game. I think the Cucurella foul should have been called. And the one from the other foul there was touch and go, in my opinion. It was touch and go. The Bentancur, it was, he had, I think, barely touched the ball, but he went through the player to win it. And I could understand why the referees didn't give it. But the Cucurella hair pull, man, that's a foul. That was ridiculous not to call that one a foul, man. So I am gonna go for Chelsea to win this game. Even though Thomas Tuchel is gonna chop and change, they still have enough threats going forward to punish this Leeds backline. And with the likes of Koulibaly, Thiago Silva at the back, if Aspilicueta might come back in, or Reece James gonna feature, whoever's got, Cucurella, who, I think they'll get the better of Leeds. One position of concern is the midfield, though. With Kante being out, Kovacic being out, Conor Gallagher is most likely going to slot in. I don't know if Ruben Loftus-Cheek is going to be given that opportunity, but let's wait and see. Most likely Conor Gallagher, in my opinion, and I think he's a really worthy replacement who's going to go in there and work hard for his team. But Kai Havertz got to step his game up. Mason Mount got to step his game up. Raheem Sterling got to step his game up if Chelsea are to come out with this victory here. And now I talk about Sterling. I did not mention my players to watch for this one, but look, I'm gonna double back. I'm going for Chelsea to win, but I'm gonna double back. Raheem Sterling needs to contribute here, just like he picked up an assist in the game against Tottenham. Good assist, but he gotta score. You gotta score when you get those easy ass chances, man. He should have scored. He had an opportunity and he didn't score. It was almost like Leon all over again. You got to step your game up, Sterling, or else you'll find yourself on the damn bench sooner rather than later. And you guys will be like, yeah, Dom, you said it, man. You said it, and look at that now. Look, for Leeds, Rodrigo, 3 goals so far this season. You check the stats there, and you check this season's stats, bam, 3 goals. 3 goals in 2 games. And this is unlike Rodrigo. But he's looked very, very sharp. Couple near post goals. He's looked good. And let's see if he's going to continue that against Chelsea. But I'm going to go for a Chelsea win. 2 goals to 1 to, pick up 3 more points and go up to 7. Hard luck to Leeds. So it started the season off pretty good. 4 points in 2. And I think Jesse Marsh, is probably expecting to lose this game, but is hoping to get at least a point, and a win for Leeds would be a big, big bonus. But I think Chelsea is just going to be a wee bit too much for them on the day. Okay, so, and I think that is a fair prediction. But guys, don't expect all my predictions to be correct and my analysis to be correct. This is just how I feel on the strength of how the teams have looked so far this season, right? And let's see how both teams fare. So in terms of the next games, man, for Spurs, who's fourth in the table right about now, their next match will be against why am I saying Spurs? Chelsea. What I've done this already today. I've done this already. The Spurs Chelsea thing, that game is like still very, very fresh on my head. But for Chelsea, who are 7, pardon me, with 4 points, damn, I caught that real quick. Their next game will be against Leicester City. I don't know. Chelsea fans are gonna be like, oh man, damn you Spurs. Never deserved that draw in the first place. So look, for Leeds United, we're doing okay. 6th so far this season. Their next game will be an EFL Cup second round game against Barnsley before they face Brighton on the road. All right, guys, we got 2 more games to talk about. The Man City, Newcastle, and the Liverpool United. Let me put the kid down. Okay. Let me see if he'll actually stay down. I don't think he's gonna stay down, guys. I don't think he's gonna stay. I don't think he's gonna stay down. Don't come on. You're not gonna stay down, right? You're not gonna stay down. You wanna come on, you want Diddy to pick you up? Okay. He's not gonna stay down, guys, but he's still sleeping though. He's still sleeping. But look, big up to everybody in the chat, man. 2-0 to Chelsea. 2-0 to Chelsea, says Alexander Brawlberry. Paloma is going with 2-0 as well. Isaiah. Tottenham will finish above Chelsea this season. City first, Tottenham second, Liverpool third, and Chelsea fourth. Awesome. Do you think Chalobah will join Inter? I could see the situation could be similar to tomorrow to AC Milan. Yes, I could see that happening too. I could definitely see it happening. 1-0, says Philip Bidwell. Chelsea, as they haven't got a proper goal scorer. Let me see. The awesome BLE, 2-0. Havertz and Kante. Kante is injured. He won't play. So let me see what else you guys are saying. Guys, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button for the live stream. We'll definitely appreciate that. What we looking like in terms of likes so far on the live? Could we get the stream closer to 100 thumbs up? Is it even possible for us to do so, guys? Could you guys do that? 45 likes so far. We got a couple dislikes as well. I don't know why, but smash up the thumbs up button if you're yet to do so, guys. Let's get closer to landing the plane today. Look, let me just let you guys know. I plan to do a preview for the City game tomorrow, right? I'm not gonna do anything too heavy right about now, okay? Not gonna do anything too heavy, and I'm not gonna share prediction today for this game. You're gonna have to tune into the special prediction preview that I have planned with my boy Steve McCullough. I like to call him McCullough, but it's Mahala. We're gonna do that tomorrow. It's not gonna be a super long video, but we're gonna have a chat and we're gonna get that out for you. So Newcastle versus Manchester City. You're just gonna look at the stats and talk a little bit and but we're not gonna get too much into the game, okay? Let me just put it out there right now. Because I don't want to give it away and then you guys don't turn up and watch the preview. See what I'm saying? So in terms of the last game, Newcastle and Brighton played to a 0-0 draw, while Man City smashed Bournemouth 4-0. In terms of the last meeting between the two teams, well, last season, Man City beat Newcastle in a combined 5-0, 9-0, 5-0 and 4-0 last season, which is absolutely ridiculous if you ask me, right? And the previous game was a 4-3 win for Man City. Newcastle did pick up a win back in 2019. I could remember John Shelby scoring in that game. Well, no, it was actually Solomon Rondon and Matt Ritchie. Shelby did not score. But I could remember Shelby scoring in a draw. There was a draw that Shelby had scored in. And that was a 2-2 draw, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Yeah, Shelby with the equalizer in the 88th minute. Yep, could definitely remember that one. Jetro Willems with a very brilliant goal in that game as well. So, yeah. So Newcastle Man City have been rather one-sided, guys, in the last few meetings. You're talking about the last 6 meetings, including a quarterfinal of the FA Cup back in 2020. So I don't know how, good Newcastle fans feel about this fixture, but I feel good about this game as a Man City fan. 44 all-time Premier League games, 28 wins for City, 8 wins for Newcastle, and 8 draws. Pep Guardiola coming up against Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe versus Pep, 12 games, 10 games, no wins, all losses. Against Man City, 12 games, all losses. Listen, this has to be one of the worst managerial records when it comes to, a man coming up against another manager or a team. Eddie Howe has it against Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. He's never lost to Eddie Howe, but he's lost once to Bournemouth. This might be a one-sided game, or it might not be a one-sided game. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Who knows? Newcastle might actually pull a shock on us, like they did back in a few seasons ago. So I don't want to be too overconfident. Relax. I don't want to be too overconfident going into this, to be completely honest. So I have to tread very, 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 very lightly here. So let's take a look at the squads and any transfer business that we could possibly talk about. And for Newcastle, they have a 25 million pound bid on the table for João Pedro from Watford, and they're also interested in Christian Pulisic, Conor Gallagher, and Armando Broja of Chelsea. And there's also been no updates on their links to Gonzalo Ramos of Benfica for the past couple of days. So I don't know if they're actually waiting for Benfica to finish their Champions League playoff before they go in for Gonzalo Ramos again, because he's been very, very good for Benfica. For Manchester City, they announced the signing of Spanish left back Sergio Gomez from Anderlecht. What happened to you? Could you go back to sleep, please? Could you go back to... Guys, I made a mistake and woke him up. I did make a mistake and woke him up though. So you know what? Go about your business, please. Go about your business. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry. Do apologize for that, guys. But just to get back to the Man City transfer update, Man City announced the signing of Spanish left back Sergio Gomez from Anderlecht on a 4-year deal. And this player, Pep Guardiola, is going to choose to keep the player at the club. And I'm hoping he gets the opportunities. You know what I'm saying? I don't want us to bring him in and then have him on the bench, scared to actually play him. You see what I mean? I don't want another Angelino situation again. I want us to actually say, okay, we brought in a left back. We're going to try him in this game and, just give the young man an opportunity that he did not get when he transferred to Borussia Dortmund. He was a Barcelona youngster, and then he went to Anderlecht, worked on the company. I guess he did well. I don't know the player very, very well, but he is a Manchester City fan, and there's been pictures circulating of him in Man City shirts when he was younger and everything. So all the best to the young man, man. You know what I mean? I hope he does well, but I hope he gets the opportunities, because if you sign him, give him the opportunities. I think Pep will give him the opportunities too, man. And who knows, maybe sooner rather than later, Barcelona will come back for their player. You see what I'm saying? Like they always seem to do. So that's one transfer business that City just recently completed. Another player on the way out, though, is Issa Kabore joining Olympic Marseille on loan with an option to buy. But I'm pretty sure that Man City is going to put a buyback clause in there because Issa Kabore is said to have very, very high potential. He's a Burkina Faso international as well. So Liam Delap joined Stoke City on loan. Southampton wanted him for about £15 million, and City refused to sell because they think and they have Liam Delap in their plans for the future. So all the best to the players going out on loan. All the best to Sergio Gomez coming in as our new potential left back, for seasons to come. So big up to everybody in the chat. I do apologize for the little intermission, but of course you guys know my son, he woke up. I push my luck and I give him a little snack and his tablet and he's good. So, look, in terms of injuries and player availability for Newcastle, John Shelby remain out while Jamal Lewis, Ryan Fraser, Matt Target, Emil Kraft, and Federico Fernandez are all getting closer to full fitness. While for Man City, Emerick Laporte remained out until sometime in September, while Cole Palmer and Calvin Phillips remain doubtful. Players to watch for both teams here. So for Newcastle, I'm going to go in with Callum Wilson. I think if they are to get any type of result, Callum Wilson would need to get on the score sheet. He's the only player I really see threatening here with a guy like maybe Almiron or Sid Maxima making a run in behind, teeing up Callum Wilson and him beating Edison. I don't see any other situation where maybe maybe Bruno Guimaraes or one of these guys could be a threat, but I think Newcastle are going to play very, very deep in this game, and Callum Wilson will be mostly isolated, and he does have some pace, and if he gets in behind, he could definitely hurt us. So on Newcastle's end, I think Callum Wilson, he's a very clinical striker, and I'm happy to see him doing very, very well in the Premier League for Newcastle. For Man City, man, listen, I could go with any one of these players. I could go with Cancelo. I could go in with Kyle Walker, Ruben Diaz, Edison, the goalkeeper. I could even go in with the boy Erling Haaland, Riyad Mahrez, Phil Foden, Grealish. But I have to go with Kevin De Bruyne, man. Look, I don't know what it is. But it's like he's getting better and better with age. Fine wine. God damn, how good is this player? How good is this player? I actually think he's the best player in the league. He won the player of the season last year, right? He's the best player in the league. He gives you goals, he gives you assists. He's so commanding in the middle of the field. And there's no other player in the Premier League like him. It's only one KDB, man, world class. Let's keep it on him. And if City are to run to another big victory, Kevin De Bruyne, I think, will be heavily involved. Look, I did mention that Man City have to start looking for their Kevin De Bruyne replacement very, very soon. He's 31 years old these days. 31. He's getting up there in age. Probably got three more good Kevin De Bruyne seasons before, he starts his decline. You see what I mean? You could see a whole David Silva situation again, but we dealt with that situation very well. So let's see if we're going to transition nicely with Kevin De Bruyne. And who knows if De Bruyne wants to go on another adventure, maybe to Spain or to Italy or to Germany. Who knows, man? So we have to actually start looking for that replacement player. Who he's going to be, maybe we have him at the club already in Phil Foden, but it's left to be seen. It is left to be seen, though. So that's my thoughts there. And guys, remember I told you I'm gonna do a prediction and a preview tomorrow with my boy Steve, and I'll give you my thoughts on who I think will come out victorious in that game. But of course, Man City are the favorites. Newcastle would have to pull off something very, very spectacular in order to get any type of result in this match, whether they are at home or away. So in terms of City, who lead the league right now, 2 wins in two, and a lot of fans are already saying that City are going to win the league already. Judging from what Liverpool have done, from what they see from Chelsea, from what they see from Spurs, they United, they saying City looks good. City looks good. They're going to win the league. It's left to be seen, guys. I'm not, gonna run away with that one and win the league 2 matches in. I'm not that crazy, But in terms of the next game for Manchester City, I see they have a game scheduled here against Barcelona. To be honest, I don't know what that game is all about. It says it's a club friendly, but I don't know what that is all about, and it's scheduled for Wednesday in the middle of the week. But the next Premier League game will be against Crystal Palace. I got to look into this Barcelona schedule friendly a little bit more. I don't know what that one is all about, though, to be honest, guys. So let us see how these two teams fare in the upcoming fixture. For Newcastle, after the City game, they do have Tranmere Rovers in the EFL Cup, and then Wolverhampton Wanderers in the next Premier League game. So, look, big up to everybody. Thanks to all those who stuck around for the final match preview of the day. And that will be the one between Manchester United and Liverpool. Guys, tune in. Make sure you look out for the video. City versus Newcastle, or Newcastle versus Man City. I'm going to make sure I get it done. If for some reason Steve's not able to, come through and get it done, I'm pretty sure he will. But if it's for some reason he can't, I'll make sure I'll get it done. You know what I'm saying? And talk about that game some more, because that is also a very, very big game where if Man City go on to win, that will be 3-3. And if, let's say, Liverpool drop points against United, Man City could potentially be 6 points, you know what I'm saying? Or even, 7 points ahead of Liverpool at the beginning of the season. And I think that would be a very, very good margin, and it could prove to be, very, very detrimental for Liverpool in terms of their title hopes, So, yeah. So, look, we are going to get into this. The final one, the big one. Manchester United versus Liverpool. Brentford 4, Man United 0 in their last game. Liverpool 1, Crystal Palace 1 in their last. Both teams are coming into this match wanting and needing, I should say, a big result. Especially Manchester United. This has been an embarrassing, a very humiliating start to the season by United. And I actually ran across an article that says Man United are at the bottom of the table in the Premier League for the very, very first time since sometime back in 1992. 20, what? How many years is that? 30 years? It's absolutely ridiculous and unacceptable and especially if you're a Man United fan. But this has been going on for quite some time. So, you know what I mean? Things like this probably expected. But maybe not, because the Man United fans are very, very, very delusional. You see what I'm saying? I don't know what it is with them. They're very, very delusional. But I think they're waking up a little now. A lot. They're waking up. For Liverpool, it's also an indifferent start. Two draws at the beginning of the season. It's better than the United start where that's two losses, but two draws is also not very good. And I say this on many occasions. Draws are like losses if you look at it from another angle, because if you look at what happened to Liverpool last season, it's the draws that actually ended up hurting Liverpool, where they only miss out on the title by a single point. And that's actually the second time that that has happened in the last 5 seasons. So, Liverpool, they got to get their act together. So, look, let's get into this game. Let's get into this game and pull up the fixtures, and let's talk about these two teams some more. This game will be next Monday. I will be doing a watch along for this one. I hope it's a good game. I think it will be a good game, even though Liverpool have beaten United 9-0 last season. I think this one should still be a good game, seeing that both teams are actually struggling for form at the beginning of the season. So it's actually nice watching this as a rival fan, like saying, listen, man, if there's a draw, haha, you know what I mean? Whoever wins, still, it's laughable to me. You see what I mean? I know you're saying, damn right, it's very serious. You shouldn't be laughing at us right about now. But come on, let me have a little fun, man. As a rival fan, let me have a little bit of fun. Please, let me do that. Let me do that. So look, if you guys take a look at the recent history here between the two clubs, it's been very, very one sided. Very, very one sided between Liverpool and Manchester United. And it's sad. It is really, really sad what has become of United, though. Record Premier League winner, and for Liverpool, the rivalry is a big rivalry. Liverpool in the old First Division, and now Man United in the Premier League, and the rivalry has always been strong. One, if not the biggest rivalry in the Premier League, still, even though Man United are really garbage these days, many fans still consider this a very, very big, big fixture, even bigger than Liverpool, Man City. And I'm not even going to argue with that too. It's hard to argue against history. But United have only picked up only two victories in their last 10 meetings against Liverpool, dating back to 2018. And one of those actually came in a fourth round of the FA Cup. The last Premier League win actually came back in 2018. Okay? 2018. 2018. This is actually this is pathetic, if you ask me. Very, 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 very pathetic. Guys, if you're hearing a little nursery rhyme, it's my son walking into the room. He's probably part of the Man United team right about now. Definitely, though. So, in terms of Jurgen Klopp coming up against Eric Ten Hag, this will be the third meet in between the two managers, where Jurgen Klopp has won both the fixtures between the two managers. So Ten Hag definitely would want to rectify that. And those were two matches against Liverpool as well, two losses. Against United, for Klopp, he has 16 games, 6 wins, 7 draws, and 3 losses. So not a bad record at all, but I think it could have been a lot better. The draw section is a little high in my opinion, but it's still a very, very, very solid record if you ask me. So, in terms of the all-time Premier League results, 60 matches, 18 wins for Liverpool, 28 for United, and 14 games have ended in a draw. There's been 79 goals scored by United, 76 goals scored by Liverpool. So, very, very close in terms of goal scoring, but United holds the edge in this tie. Ah, do apologize there, guys. My bad, my bad. But we were talking transfers, right? And Adrian Rabiot to Man United is officially off. That deal is not going to happen again because of the disagreement on wages. And I did talk about, Adrian Rabiot and his mom, Veronique Rabiot, are definite problems. But Man United have turned their attention to Casemiro of Real Madrid. And they're very, very serious about this deal. I think it could cost them up to what, about 60 million pounds, if I'm not mistaken. That's a fee I saw. And that is a bold move for a player who I realized on the weekend did not start. It was Chouameni and Camavinga who started. He came off the bench. And I was thinking to myself, are Real Madrid like phasing out Casemiro slowly or something? But now would actually be the right time for them to cash in. He's getting up there in age. He's already won multiple Champions Leagues, La Ligas, you name it. You know what I'm saying? He's a part of the Brazilian team, and he probably could do with a new adventure. But to United, he's probably just gonna go there for a payday because United are gonna look to pay him about 10 million after tax. So might as well just say, hey man, I'm gonna go to United, do my thing, and maybe I bounce back after the inevitable failure. You see what I'm saying? So it's left to be seen. Definitely left to be seen. But United are looking to wrap up this deal, and Casemiro could even feature on Monday against Liverpool if all goes well. They've also been heavily linked to PSV's Cody Gakpo. That deal could worth about 34 million as well. So United will have to fork out a lot of money if they are to bring in quality players to turn their fortunes around this season. They've also been heavily linked with Anthony of Ajax, and I read, I think David Austin put out a tweet that Ajax refuse 80 million euros. That's a lot of money to turn down, which means they value the player even more than that, and they probably want 100 plus. And I think the first time I saw Anthony, I'm like, this kid is out of this world. So I don't blame them at all. I really, really don't blame them. That deal is set to be very, very difficult to get over the line. There's also the Cristiano Ronaldo situation that's up in the air. His future, he's been, probably said that Borussia Dortmund is probably the only viable option for him right about now. Marcus Rashford's been linked with a move to PSG. Eric Bailly to Olympique Marseille. And Yannick Carrasco from Atletico Madrid has been linked to United as well. So let us see what kind of but who isn't linked to United? Who isn't? You see what I'm saying? So let us see what deal gets done before the transfer window officially closes, and if United could actually turn their fortunes around, turn their very poor form around, and have a respectable finish in the league this season. In terms of Liverpool, I only came across, one article about Naby Keita, and it said that he isn't happy with his situation at Liverpool, and he's stalling on signing a new contract, and that contract expires next season, and he might actually leave for free next year if everything don't work out too well. I actually took a look at his career at the Red Bull clubs, and he was very, prolific in terms of goal contributions. And for Liverpool, I think he only bagged 11 goals in 117 games and 8 assists. It's not been good enough. He has not been good enough for Liverpool, and I really don't think they'll miss him. He's had a few good games, but that's just it. That's it. Naby Keita could have, I think Naby Keita, let me go as far as to say Naby Keita has been a flop at Liverpool. I know it's bold, but he has been a flop. So, look, in terms of play availability here for United, Victor Lindelof, Brandon Williams, and Facundo Pelestri would all miss the game, while Anthony Martial is a doubt, and Mason Greenwood is probably home playing FIFA career mode, still suspended from the club for that ongoing case he has with previous girlfriend of his. For Liverpool, Darwin Nunez is suspended for this game, while Thiago, Jota, Curtis Jones, Joel Matip, Oxlade Chamberlain, Ibrahima Konate, and Calvin Ramsey are all out injured, while Quivin Kelleher and Firmino could recover from their injuries. Liverpool are going through somewhat of an injury crisis right about now. Darwin Nunez suspended. You have, you know, all these players out injured, as I mentioned, and the poor start to the season. So, to be honest, look, it is Liverpool are the favorites, but United could bounce back. But still, judging from what they've done this season so far, I doubt. This is probably the game where Liverpool could actually really kickstart their season with a big, comfortable win and go on to pursue the likes of City and Arsenal, at the top of the table. Look, in terms of players to watch for this game, guys, for United, I'm gonna go into Cristiano Ronaldo because I think if a deal doesn't get, if he doesn't sign a deal with another club by Monday, he's gonna feature. And if he features, is he gonna do anything in the game? Him versus Van Dijk would be a really, really good clash to look forward to. And let's see what Cristiano Ronaldo does, man. He got to talk the talk in this game. He has to talk the talk in this game. Okay? And if there's any game he got to talk the talk in, it's this game, man. And I don't know. I really don't know. For United, for Liverpool, Mo Salah. Mo Salah. I think he had a good first game. He started the game well and finished it well against Fulham. But the last match against Crystal Palace, man, he had a couple opportunities. He snatched at it. Didn't really look too comfortable against Tyreek Mitchell over there on the left as well. So Salah has to bounce back, and he needs a big game. He's been prolific since 2017 when he joined the club, and he needs to have another prolific season if Liverpool are to go on to win the title or even come in top four or win this game. Salah needs a big match. Salah needs a big season, especially in the absence of Sadio Mane. I'm sorry I got to mention Mane here, but, it's kind of weird seeing Liverpool without Sadio Mane. And a lot of people are saying, yeah, it's a Mane effect. He's not there. And now you're seeing what Liverpool are actually missing. So in terms of a combined 11, a quick combined 11, guys, I'm going for 4-3-3, Klopp in charge of the team. And I'm only going with fit players here. So I'm going with Luis Diaz, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Salah up top, Bruno Fernandes, Jordan Henderson, and Fabinho in the middle of the field. And at the back, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, Van Dijk, and Gomez. I was tempted to put in Harry Maguire, but I said no fucking way I could do that. And Alisson Becker in goal. So in terms of my prediction for this game, guys, look, I'll be a mentally ill person to predict United to get anything from this game. As bad as Liverpool has been at the beginning of the season, and they'll be without Darwin Núñez, I'll be a real dumbass to predict anything for United here. Seriously. As much as I want to be as unbiased as I can, I am being unbiased still right now, and I can't predict nothing for United. Not from after what I saw against Brentford and against Brighton, and you're coming up against Liverpool. Liverpool, if you fail to beat United here, don't come talk to me about nothing when it comes to no title or nothing. I don't want to hear nothing when it comes to no title. Liverpool 3, United 1. They will get a goal. But expect Salah, Diaz. I think Firmino will start this game. And if he doesn't, Liverpool would have to look for an outlet, somebody else to put up there. But look, I expect Liverpool to run riot on Man United. 3-0 or 3-1. I'm going for 3-1. Sancho, Rashford, and Ten Hag just can't get his 11 right. Harry Maguire is awful. Varane is awful. Lisandro Martinez has been awful. Luke Shaw has been awful. Diego Dallo has been awful. David De Gea has been very awful. Fred and McTominay has been goddamn awful. The whole team has been awful. You know what I'm saying? So, if Liverpool does not win this game, I don't want to hear nothing from no Liverpool fans about no title this season again. Nothing. I predicted Liverpool to win the title, and they have absolutely let me down. They let me down big time, man. Making me look like I don't know what I'm talking about. Because no way Man City are going to do a three-peat. No way. No way, man. No way City are doing a three-peat. No way. Can't believe this is being allowed in the league. No way. But it seems like that's what's gonna happen, man. So I'm going for 3-1 to you to Liverpool. United to lose 3 in a row, stay at the bottom of the table, and Liverpool to get their season really going with an impressive win against their biggest rivals, Manchester United. It should be City, but it is still United, man. So for Liverpool in 12th, their next game will be against Bournemouth. And for Manchester United at the bottom of the table, their next game will be against Southampton. Look, guys, I'm sorry that a little interruption during the video there, but look, man, it's live, it's reality, you know what I mean? I have a son, he sometimes does not behave accordingly, and I have to deal with it. So I have to go tend to him right about now. So I appreciate everybody who tuned in this week once again. And I gotta go pick up my wife just now too. So I'm a very busy man, you know what I'm saying? And I've been up since 4:30 this morning as well. But look, I'm making an effort to be consistent, and I'm back with another one, Match Week 3 preview. Stay tuned for the review that's coming up next Monday, okay? So guys, from your boy Dom, thanks again for tuning in to yet another one. I wish I could get into the comments right now, but I gotta go, okay? So until next time, peace out. Rich Squad. Peace.